A record 64 million Americans live in multi-generational households, and the majority of them are young adults who are still dependent on their parents for a variety of financial and emotional reasons.
Some of these situations fall into the category of a syndrome called failure to launch, which was also the title of a 2006 film starring Matthew McConaughey.
His parents want him out.
He's 35 years old. He still lives at home. That is not normal.
I've lived upstairs since I was 3. It's going to take a stick of dynamite to get me out of my parents' house.
So how can we identify and help these millennial adults and Generation Z teens? Joining us now, clinical psychologist, life coach, and author, Dr. Cali Estes. She's the founder of the Addictions Coach. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. So what defines failure to launch?
Well, failure to launch syndrome is the name that we give the young adult or young to middle adult that's having trouble finding a job, paying the rent, moving out of the household, getting things done, and basically launching. And it's this type of syndrome. Well, we termed it a syndrome, but we're not quite sure exactly, is it a syndrome or is it a disorder, but we know it's real. So as clinicians, we're trying to grab a hold of it and solve it as it happens.
And who's affected by it? What's the kind of person who falls into this?
The average age is 18 to 35, more male than female generally, but lately we've seen a mix of both.
What is
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there sort of an economic? My daughter is 24. She's lived and worked on her own in New York for a year. I'm almost certain she's going to come back home. It's better at home.
Correct, it is.
Is that a failure to launch?
Well, it depends. There are certain symptoms and signs and causes specifically. So if she comes home for a springboard, maybe not. But if she comes home and stays, you might have a problem.
So when do you know if it is a problem? When it is, okay, come back for a little bit, get on your feet. What are some of the causes? What's happening here?
So some of the causes include lack of purpose and passion. They don't know what they want to do. What do I want to do with my life? How do I want to do some different things? What do I do? Helicopter, lawnmower, snowplow parenting.
All the above.
The parent comes in and fixes everything. Which leads to a lack of societal consequence. They get a DUI, they get a parking ticket. Mom makes it go away. Then we have always winning. They never lose in school. They're never cut from the team. Everybody goes to cheerleading and football. There's no child left behind. And lastly, anxiety over all these symptoms because we didn't give them the tools to navigate life.
And are there signs that you can sort of see that this is starting to happen with young people?
They kind of all come together and in one realm, but the majority of the signs you're looking for specifically are adult tantrums, gaming addiction, drug and alcohol, specifically marijuana and alcohol, also lack of steady employment, and also they say they're bored with life. They're just bored.
So you've come up with a program
Correct.
to help combat this failure to launch. What's the program, and
Is it get out of the house and go get a job? Is that the program?
Sort of. So we did a boots on the ground, hardcore program. It's 6 weeks to a year. We come in, we work with the failure to launch child. We get them up, get them moving, get them a job, figure out what they want to do with their life, get them a positive peer group. But we also work with the parents on setting boundaries and limiting the financial support, which is so important because together you have the perfect storm.
And is it at a certain point too late? In other words, this is something I would imagine you want to start working on early in a child's life so that they do experience the full breadth of life, that it's not always just winning and mommy and daddy are going to fix everything.
Correct. 15 to 18 is the ideal. We have clients that are 35 and 40 still living at home. It makes our job tougher, but we can do it.
Okay, Cali Estes is a clinical psychologist, author, and founder of the Addictions Coach. For more information, you can check out her website. Also follow her on social media. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.